So, yeah, okay, so the book eventually got published. And then I'm interested in what sort of happened in the intervening years between that and the new book that you've just published now.
Okay.
I mean, what sort of happened in terms of that journey? Because
Yeah.
on.
Okay. Okay. So in between, what happened in the world of astronomy
Mhm.
was that there was another celestial body discovered where the orbit behaved similarly to Chiron. That was initially the name of Chaos was proposed, but eventually it got the name of Pholus. That
Yes, not.
that that's also what set the kind of the custom of these particular kinds of objects being named after the centaurs
Mhm.
in Greek mythology. This coincided with the discovery of the Kuiper belt, which is a
Uh,
ring of matter around the edge of the solar system. And it's thought that all the centaurs originate in the Kuiper belt and have been drawn into our solar system, possibly by the gravitational pull of Neptune.
Interesting.
All
Yes.
of which is already such delicious symbolism, you
Yes.
know?
So, just for listeners who don't necessarily know the difference between the centaurs and, say, the planets, I mean, how would you describe what a
Right.
centaur is?
Well, a centaur is an object that, although it does orbit around the sun like the planets do, the centaurs have a much more elliptical orbit rather than tending towards circular like the planets do.
Okay.
Well, in fact, all orbits are actually elliptical,
Yes.
but some only a very small degree of elliptical, like, for example, Venus is a nearly perfectly circular orbit.
Okay.
But it still isn't perfectly circular, it still is an ellipse. But
Yes.
the centaurs have extremely elliptical orbits.
Mm-hmm.
They're also very steeply inclined to the ecliptic. Now,
Oh,
all the planets that orbit around the sun, they actually orbit in a thin band
yes.
called the ecliptic. And
Yes.
that line of the ecliptic in space, normally planets don't stray very far above or below that line. And then the centaurs have orbits which actually cross over the orbital pathways of the normal planets. Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
So, what's also interesting is the whole controversy about Pluto
Yes.
having been supposedly demoted and is it a planet or isn't it a planet? All of this uproar about it.
Yes.
Now, I'd already been teaching that Pluto was not a planet for
Hmm.
years and years before the demotion happened, because if you just look at the facts before the centaurs, Pluto
Mm-hmm.
was the only orbit crossing planet. And to my knowledge, Dane Rudhyar was the only astrologer who really picked up on this and interpreted it.
Hmm.
He spoke about a cosmic fecundation, like a fertilization of the orbits of the planets
Hmm.
by something coming from elsewhere, i.e., further out in the solar system,
Hmm.
and also very steeply inclined to the ecliptic. That's the angle at which it travels relative to the approximately straight line of the ecliptic, you see. So
Yes.
already there was an outlier.
Mm.
And then eventually the Kuiper belt was discovered. So Pluto is now described as a Kuiper belt object, a KBO. But
Yes.
the basic obvious things that give it the symbolic valence are very clear.
Yes.
And so now we don't only have Pluto connecting with our solar system, we've got these centaurs as well, who come from the same region of the sky, we're told.
Mm-hmm.
This hasn't been like scientifically proved, but this is the current theory,
Okay.
that the centaurs come from the Kuiper belt, the realm of Pluto's home. And so the symbolism is so clear that the centaurs are like the messengers or ambassadors of the underworld.
Interesting.
They shine the light into the dark world of what has been called the underworld.
Huh.
There is the reference to other worlds, the world beyond death. That's
Yes.
not only a place of fear, like
Yes.
we might have been led to believe by horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place which has many different domains within it. You'll find that in Greek mythology, there are different zones in the underworld
Yes.
that have their own names and their own special features and so forth. And so It's like that with the centaurs, and they specifically also illuminate the ancestral realms, sometimes in, again, ridiculously specific ways.